Now we have to talk about Tupac, which I wasn't committed to, but then I watched the doc. So
Didn't know you were getting that.
You have a lot of people saying stuff in there that makes it sound like maybe he was responsible for that murder, which has never been proven. That's a very serious
But
thing.
you have Keefe D and over in Vegas now, getting ready to go on trial for that case, saying those things.
I told you you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Puffy's a sucker, man.
You know, I have my guys with me, Thug Life guys, and we heard what he had to say. He basically said he ain't have nothing to do with my brother's murder.
We don't talk about things that are nonsense.
You think he was lying?
Quite possibly, and it's kind of looking that way. Here we are 27, 28 years later. The theory involving him is quite high on the list. Our family, you know, we still suffer. He was all wrapped up, but he was still shaking.
So do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody.
See me fail, and in my mind sometimes when I'm drunk or I'm just laying down, I'll be thinking like, damn, is this true? Will I fail? Am I supposed to fail? I mean, should I just stop trying and give up? But then I'll be like, nah, hold on, that's exactly what they waiting for me to do, is to just say this is too much, I can't take it and give up. So now it's a fun little game that I cry at sometimes, I laugh at sometimes, I smile, I have good times and bad times, but it's a game. It's this game of life. Do I win or do I?
When 50 Cent publicly revisited the unsolved murder of Tupac Shakur, it did far more than spark another online debate. It reopened one of hip-hop's deepest and most painful wounds.
He didn't directly accuse anyone.
He didn't make definitive allegations. But the words he chose carefully echoed the same questions that have lingered throughout the culture for nearly 30 years. Questions that have never been fully resolved. What made his remarks so impactful wasn't only what he said, it was the timing.
Quite possibly, and it's kind of looking that way. Here we are 27, 28 years later. The theory involving him is quite high on the list. Our family, you know, we still suffer. He was all wrapped up, but he was still shaking the bed. He really wanted to tell me something. I'm assuming it was something that had to do with the hit.
I get the feeling quite strongly that you don't believe Diddy. I don't think you believe a word of it.
It seems like he got a whole bunch of power, like absolute power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
What's your message to Sean Combs? Tupac Shakur was American hip-hop's brightest light until he was shot 4 times in a drive-by attack in 1996. His death shocked the world, and Tupac's legend has only grown since his murder, along with the fever speculation about who planned it, who ordered it, and who did it. For 27 years, it was one of America's highest-profile unsolved crimes, until finally, a year ago, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was charged. He'd bragged about being inside the Cadillac from which the fatal shots were fired, albeit not by him, and awaits trial as the last surviving suspect. But there are many unanswered questions and a tangled web of claims embroidering notorious figures and an infamous East Coast-West Coast gang rivalry. Many people speculate that this web entangles P. Diddy. Sean Combs is, of course, facing trial on a battery of charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering. With his alleged crimes under the spotlight, members of Tupac's family have this week hired an investigator to examine the links between Diddy and the murder. And joining me now is Tupac Shakur's brother, Mopreme. Well, Mopreme, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know what time it is there.
It's like early evening in the UK. Are you in LA?
Currently.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of my people across the pond.
Well, it's great to have you here on Uncensored. Be very keen to talk to you because obviously a lot has happened to P. Diddy in recent weeks. He's now languishing in prison. Let me start first of all, your reaction to what's happened to him.
The Netflix documentary approaches Tupac Shakur's story from a different perspective. Rather than presenting him solely as a legendary figure frozen in history, it portrays him as a man navigating chaos, loyalty, ambition, and betrayal in real time. The film follows his meteoric rise to fame, his fearless personality, and the isolation that can come with immense influence and success. Instead of encouraging conspiracy theories, the documentary attempts to restore context.
I think my favorite thing about 50 Cent's Netflix Diddy documentary is how he built a timeline off of this information. And one of my favorite parts of this documentary is them really getting into the timeline of events when it comes to Tupac and Biggie. And it really gives us a lot of perspective from people that were close to the situation, and a lot of people allege in this documentary that they believe that Diddy was very jealous of Tupac. And they pretty much go through everything from the quad incident and Tupac believing that Puffy was behind it, like he said in the Vibe interview. And they lay out this whole timeline of the downfall happening perfectly, in my opinion. We are even hearing from Greg Kading, the detective that worked on Tupac and Biggie's case in this documentary. He is the investigator that did that proffer agreement with Keefe D way back in 2008, where Keefe D alleged that Diddy tried to offer him $1 million to take out Tupac and Suge Knight. And Tupac's trial with Keefe D is coming up very soon in early 2026. And we know that Diddy's name has been dropped at least 200 times during these proceedings already. So this is one case that I am definitely waiting for and I am going to cover. In Keefe D's 2008 proffer agreement, he alleged that Diddy's friend Zip Martin is the one that gave him the weapon that was used to take out Tupac. And Keefe D told the investigator Greg Kading that Zip Martin had a special compartment to keep this weapon in his car that he drove to Las Vegas. And in this documentary, we have Greg Kading confirming that Zip Martin did drive the same type of vehicle that Keefe D alleged to Las Vegas this night. And then during this documentary, we heard from the former president of Bad Boy, Kirk Burroughs, who alleged during this time, Diddy had him hiring a whole bunch of people and getting cars to drive to Las Vegas. And he is now very curious into why Diddy wanted to do this. And he said, in his opinion, he now believes that Diddy was behind.
You know, there was the rumor that after Pac got killed, Puffy gave Zip $1 million that was supposed to be handed over, and Zip ended up keeping it. And I remember when I interviewed TK Kirkland, who was actually roommates with Zip at one point. They were that close. He actually said, yeah.
The feds said that too.
He said that shit actually happened. Well, the story that has circulated was that after Tupac got killed, Puffy allegedly gave the money.
I heard
to Zip.
Yes.
And Zip was supposed to give the money to Keefe in there.
Yes.
But he never gave the money to him.
But thank God he never gave him the money, right? Think about it. If he gave the money, Puffy will be in prison now, money for hire, a murder for hire. So thank God. It's just a true story. I'm not saying yes or no, but if he would have gave him...
Without making direct accusations, the documentary carefully examines why the name of Sean Combs continues to surface in public discussions surrounding the case. Former associates, journalists, and longtime observers suggest that it was his proximity to key moments, not proven evidence, that kept his name circulating for decades. Rather than forcing viewers toward a simple conclusion, the film embraces uncertainty. It avoids creating obvious villains.
It'd have been a murder for hire and Puffy would be locked up.
The FBI said he's a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah, and he even said that, like, in retrospect, that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to Puffy. By Zip stealing the money, now Puffy isn't connected to that shit. Or else it would have been like a murder for hire or something, you know what I'm saying?
The FBI said Zip.
So the FBI told you the same
he was
thing.
a dirty motherfucker, yeah.
So the FBI told you that Zip kept that money as well.
They said Zip's a dirty motherfucker. Everybody cross you. You're the last one to know every fucking thing. Even lawyers, your friends, everybody can cross your ass. You just don't know. Even the dudes you was riding in the car with every day, like a low jack. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, Zip had a history of ripping people off.
Yeah. He never ripped me off.
Well,
otherwise he wouldn't have.
Did he technically do? I mean, if he kept the money that supposedly.
True.
So actually, he ripped you off for $1 million.
Yeah. If that's what happened, yeah. They sure said it. The FBI said that. The people down, U.S. attorneys, all that, they said that. Zip's a piece. They said he's a piece of shit. But I didn't ever know that he got no money. But they said he got it.
Yeah.
Well, Gene Deal said he got it too.
Oh,
Kirkland,
really?
yeah, everybody.
Those who lived through the East Coast versus West Coast era often describe it as something far bigger than music. It was a collision of identity, economics, influence, and survival. Tupac Shakur's fiercely independent mindset frequently challenged existing power structures within the industry. At the same time, business alliances slowly evolved into deeply personal divisions.
Out of his room like that. And that's for real, for real. You understand? I'll be like, yo, when I had to, because most of the time, I would walk some of them to the door, walk them to get their cabs or whatever like that. Or, take them down the street and get their cabs and everything like that. And I'd be like, I'd be laughing. I just kept a smile on my face when it came to that shit. Because I know for a fact, because he said it himself. He said, I don't know how to talk to women. I don't know how to talk to girls. You understand? I said, you don't have to know how to talk to nobody. You a millionaire. You got it. So he was jealous of Pac because Pac ain't had to do that. Pac had that aura, you know what I'm saying? And he probably knew how to communicate with women. And most women who he talked to that said stuff, said about him. You understand? Like, and we talk about the whole incident of the Quad Studio shit. Like in the documentary, they was talking about that, right? You know what I'm saying? They talked about the Quad Studio shit. But they didn't mention the fact, and they left it out, that Big and C's did not know that Puff and Andre Harrell was in Jimmy Henchman's office the day Pac got killed. I mean, the day Pac got shot at Quad Studio. Let me repeat that again so it don't get mixed up in the whole thing. They did not mention that Andre Harrell and Puff Daddy and Jimmy Henchman were all in the office together. Puff was on the office because he was trying to spy on Big them, because Big was writing the Junior Mafia stuff and Puff had his publishing. I told this to a couple of people before. I said it before, and you got people that's running with it like they knew the story in the whole 9 yards. You understand? They'll lie and you ask them, how do you know that? Who told you? They couldn't even tell you that. They'll tell you some lie, they did some kind of investigation, but it didn't happen like that. You understand? Puff was there to spy on Big because he had owned Big Publishing. And Big had turned around, and the same people who helped Puff get Big Publishing told Big to...
Members of Tupac Shakur's family speak not with certainty, but with exhaustion. Decades after his death, they continue searching for answers. They continue hoping for accountability. And they continue waiting for a process they can truly trust. They openly question why certain names repeatedly appear in public conversations year after year, while official action often seems absent. Their frustration highlights a painful reality.
Something serious like that when I don't come to Puff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Every time I told Puff something was about to happen, it happened. You understand? We had a party with ODB and them. And at Luke's club, yo, Puff, they about to start shooting up in this joint. How you know, Gene? Bruh, I know.
In your opinion, man, do you think Biggie would still be alive if Puffy would have listened to you?
I think, in my opinion, Big wouldn't have got killed that night. To say if he would still be alive, I don't know that. I don't have a time clock on somebody's life. And we know, nobody knows. God, you know, it comes to death comes like a thief in the night, man. We don't know what's going on and when it's gonna happen. But I truly believe that if Big would have stayed to his guns and not F with Puff like he was doing at first, not coming to none of the parties we was at. Did you hear what Lil C said? We wasn't even messing with Puff. We was doing our own thing. If they would have stayed with doing their own thing, maybe we still alive. Cause Big was a big star. Show me one picture out in LA, since they was going to all kind of clubs and all kind of spots and all kind of restaurants, that somebody got him with him.
Did somebody got those pictures with him? Have you seen any? Only place you seen them was at Sway, the radio stations, right? The video shoot. Where all the other places with all the other pictures? That one time in the mall. But they was out there 2 months, going to all the stations and everything. See, I think that what we're looking at is this, is that two men with two great egos that got all the money in the world. Now see, Suge had the blueprint.
The documentary revisits the night Tupac Shakur was shot in Las Vegas with remarkable restraint. Rather than sensationalizing the tragedy, it carefully reconstructs timelines, reviews witness statements, and examines inconsistencies that have persisted throughout the years. The film avoids forcing a conclusion. Instead, it allows the evidence, the contradictions, and the unanswered questions to speak for themselves.
Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. So, you know, he wanted, and then you gotta see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did?
I mean, I've seen quite a few speeches from Diddy. I don't remember.
Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying.
Oh, wow.
The same,
okay.
The same, if people go back, he's saying the same stuff with Pac. Why? Why? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He did have he disliked Pac, but he also loved him in certain things. It's a strange, weird, it's a strange, weird, I guess, relationship that they had, bro.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Cause I even interviewed Reggie, and like, Suge and Diddy were cool too. Even when their beef was going on, I heard they were still communicating and like not. I don't know, man. It was like this weird dynamic that they had.
Y'all thought it was an East Coast, West Coast war. One day we was in behind a house of blues. You hear me? We was driving through that. We had a reporter in the car. He was either from Billboard or he was from, what's that other big magazine? Rolling Stones. It may have been Rolling Stones. He's in the car with me. Riz is on the driver's side. Riz is on the passenger side in the back. The reporter's in the middle. I'm on the driver's side in the back. You got Kenny driving, Puffers in the front. We see Suge and Tupac, right? Pac is in a white Rolls Royce convertible. Suge is in a red Rolls Royce convertible. It's about a House of Blues. Behind the House of Blues is about.
As the years passed, additional interviews and public confessions added new layers to the story. But they did not necessarily bring clarity. Some accounts directly contradicted earlier statements, forcing people to reconsider timelines that once appeared settled. Others introduced fresh motives, new perspectives,